on here. We gotta talk about the elephant in the room.
The dead elephant?
Yeah, we had the Undertakers.
Shit.
What did they officially call it? Like a Undertaker farewell, or I don't know if it had an official name. It was basically Undertaker retiring for the 12th time until COVID's over, and but until COVID's over and Saudi Arabia wants him again, he'll be back. They always come back for that Saudi money. So it started out with
not even with the Undertaker.
No. It started out them just bringing out a bunch of guys, which some of them kind of made sense and some of them didn't. You know, Shane McMahon was the first one to come out, and I'm just sitting there like, what the hell does Shane McMahon have to do with the Undertaker? It's like, oh yeah, that one time he threw him off the cell because they had to give McMahon a big push that did nothing. Big Show came out next, and again I was like, what? These guys don't really have history. Like
They're
they've
just the old
wrestled.
guys that hang out backstage.
JBL came out. I know JBL is good friends with Undertaker, and he was part of the Ministry of Darkness. Made sense. We had Jeff Hardy come out. What? And then I loved the announcers. They're like, back in 2002, Jeff Hardy had a match with Undertaker on Raw, and many people say that propelled him to greatness. Okay, he had one match on Raw with the fucker. Okay. His face paint was rocking, though. It was the Undertaker cool. T-Cross thing, and we had Mick Foley come out. He probably should have been the first one out or the last one out, depending on how you want to look at it.
Well, Triple H had to be.
Yeah. The Godfather. So we had the Godfather come out, which it really bummed me. They did mention that Godfather is friends with him backstage. And actually, I don't know if at one point they actually mentioned BSK.
Yeah.
Or not, but okay, they did mention it by name.
Yeah.
They basically said these guys hung out a lot backstage for sure. So, I was glad to see him there. One thing I was disappointed with, though, they never mentioned the Godfather's run as Papa Shango, where he had a really good rivalry with Undertaker. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you talk about that?
Because that's the character you want to distance yourself from. More than the pimp, I guess.
I love Papa Shango. Then you had
My
the Godwin.
favorite was when Godfather was coming down and it cut to Jeff Hardy doing the Godfather walk, like the pimp walk.
That was good. The little pimp strut.
Yeah, with his paint. It was cute.
Godwins came out. You had Henry O. Godwin and Phineas I. Godwin. Of course, those guys were part of BSK back in the day, and Phineas I. Godwin went on to be Midian in the Ministry of Darkness.
Uh-huh.
Savio Vega, great, one of Undertaker's best friends, but, never did anything
Right.
wrestling with him. Rikishi, he was part of the BSK.
Couldn't be there to cheer his son on in the last couple of pay-per-views.
Right.
He was there to see the Undertaker go. And all I'm sitting here thinking is, oh my God, WWE's trying to kill all these guys.
We had Kevin Nash for some reason, Booker T for some reason. Shawn Michaels makes sense. They had a good rivalry. Ric Flair for some reason, I guess because they're both old timers. Triple H came out, and then Kane. No, Kane came out before Triple H, didn't he? I don't remember.
I don't remember if it was.
I think Triple H and then I think Kane was the
last. Yeah,
very last, and then he was the only one that was fully dressed up in his gimmick, and he was like in a corner by himself. I just thought it was really weird. And then like right before they cut away, all of a sudden Shane McMahon comes up to him and starts like yelling at him. I don't know what he was doing, but I was like something's going on with Kane. I don't know if they're ribbing him or what, but. I think everybody knows he's the mayor of Knox County and everything. It's like, and nobody else was in their gimmicks, and Undertaker has shed his gimmick. You could just come down. It's Glenn Jacobs, maybe with a red shirt or something. But all in all, Paystee, having these guys come out took 11 minutes and 42 seconds. And what did they do when they all came out, Paystee?
They stood there until everybody was out, and then the lights went out, and they disappeared. And they cut then we had to sit through like what, an 8-minute promo video.
Yeah, they had a music video after that, which was weird. Which actually I was with you. I thought it was so super long. I timed all of this, folks, just because I wanted to see it.
You made Mick Foley and Flair walk down the ramp to stand there for a 20-minute promo. Are you kidding me?
And the music video is actually 4 minutes and 11 seconds long, which kind of surprised me. It felt longer.
Yeah, well, this whole thing felt long. Every segment was just too much.
After that, Vince came down.
Everybody was gone, right?
Yeah, everybody's gone. It's just Vince in the ring. Why were they there?
He was them all along. He was all of them. I did like his speech. It was 2 minutes and 10 seconds, about the perfect length of a speech, and you could see he seemed really choked up. Like, you've seen emotion in him. So either he's an amazing actor or this was huge for him. So I personally liked that. I could have gone with that over everybody coming out. Yeah.
And then the entrance, Paystee. And we all know that an Undertaker entrance, especially on a pay-per-view, takes a little long. Paystee, I timed this at 9 minutes and 7 seconds.
This might have been one of the longest ones of all time.
I think it was the longest one of all time. 9 minutes and 7 seconds.
And other than the cool Tesla coils playing his entrance music in the very beginning, there was nothing like special. There was no caskets, no druids, no nothing.
Nope. They had this stupid blue light and all this fog so you couldn't see anything. Then he sits in the ring, talks for 6 minutes and 43 seconds.
Before even getting in the ring, I felt like he stood on the stairs for like 5 minutes.
Like, he very well might have. You couldn't see anything. You don't even know.
Stood.
Yeah. And then, and even what he said was kind of meh. Like, it didn't even feel very
super
heartfelt.
Generic. There was nothing like, it was like a normal Undertaker promo.
Yeah. And again, with this blue light and this fog and him keeping his head tilted down with his hat, like the whole time, all I could see was...
audience faces back. They kept the stupid lightning graphics up on the crowd
all
spots.
I could see was the bottom of his face and then the little cutout in his ring gear where his chest was. And that was about it. It just looked like a floating jaw. Because you just couldn't see anything else. It was bad production or direction or...
Piping in fake thank you takers and shit. It was...
Oh, yeah, that was sad.
That's depressing. He's cutting his final promo ever in an audience with nobody. You couldn't put the Zoom people back up so he looked like he was talking to some people. And then you pipe in fake-ass chants that you could tell they were fake. You could hear the spots where some of the shit looped back on itself.
Yeah. But what I thought was worse than that was twice Undertaker... like, put the mic to his mouth, and then they upped the volume slightly, and he put it down like he was waiting for the crowd to die down. Like, get the fuck out of here. That is just pathetic. It's like Undertaker has to feel like the biggest jackass right now.
I know. Dude, he's got the most protected, storied career in all of professional wrestling. I don't think there'd be anybody more, than The Undertaker when it comes to that.
No, I would agree.
And this is how you go out after 30-plus years in the business, in an arena, in front of nobody, writing some shitty promo that WWE wrote for you. And it was just sad. It should have been he was done when he took off his shit and left it in the ring at WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania 33 was the perfect ending point. Because even then he was past his prime and wasn't having great matches.
Right. And I know at least you could say, oh, well, it's over now at least. Nope. WWE's got him doing fucking cameos. Did you look at some of these like I had told you to?
No, I never did get a chance to check out these cameos yet. I almost did, and then I kind of got queasy to my stomach, and I was like, I gotta wait.
That's how you feel watching them, I'll tell you that much. Undertaker, in gimmick, dressed up as The Undertaker, talking like The Undertaker, but hope you wish your mom a very happy birthday. Give her a big hug. Tell her it's from The Undertaker.
I want to cameo him to the next funeral I have, so he can just may she rest in peace. Roll his eyes in the back of his head.
One of the cameos at the end, I'm sure this is at the end of all of them, because I only saw clips of them in a montage or whatever. But at the end, he's like, and a big special thank you to Vince and Linda and WWE, because they made all of this happen. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. I feel so bad for this man. I feel so bad for him, but I think the best thing we can do is just forget about it all, right? At this point, because if we
Honestly,
keep remembering, Vince is just going to keep dragging him through shit. I'm pretty sure Undertaker is probably the only human being that Vince McMahon ever cried in front of or something, to where Undertaker feels responsible for Vince's happiness. You know?
Yeah, it's... Was it ever? Whatever it was, it was.
It's not good, and I saw a lot of good press for it the whole week afterwards, and I'm like, are you blind? Are you dumb? Are you not empathetic? Because I feel for The Undertaker. I don't feel for myself having to sit at home and watch it.
No.
You know, that wouldn't really be different if there was a crowd of fans there. But for this man who's done so much for so many people, he's been a legend backstage, he's been a legend in the ring, he's the epitome of fucking kayfabe, and this is what he gets. You can't say, oh yeah, we'll just let this wait another year, to when things are better.
Yeah, what they should have done, well, there's a million and one things they should have done, but they should have done this as kind of a dark segment, like after a Monday Night Raw. Now, and I'm going to say this, after there are actually fans that are able to come into the arena, they could have people come down, talk about shit, and then they could throw their little music video in there, and then they could put little clips in, and like you had mentioned, just put it on like an hour and a half little thing on the network, and anybody who wants to watch it can watch it.
But honestly, by the time the pay-per-view was over and this was starting, I was like, holy shit, they are doing this tonight. I forgot. Because it felt like they were two separate things, but it's one thing. And it's like, why couldn't have this been the pre-show or in the middle somewhere where it would have felt like it was part of the show? Why is it two different things that are the same thing?
It could have been, they could have ended the pay-per-view, and then the very next thing to air on the network could have been this whole segment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, I would have sat and watched and would have been just as pissed off and disappointed, but it wouldn't be on the Survivor Series pay-per-view, so it'd be slightly better. Just slightly. Right. On the plus side, with it not being at the beginning or at the end, Paystee, I guess it doesn't matter now that you have the network anyways. But I was going to say, if you go back and rewatch it, you can always just end it after that. But I guess with the network, no matter where it is, you can just skip to next match, I guess. Or next segment.
Yeah, no. And now we got Undertaker as himself going on all these podcasts and doing these interview shows. He was just on Hot Ones, and it wasn't that great. I would rather listen to fucking JBL tell Undertaker's road stories than listen to Mark tell Undertaker's road stories.
Right. It takes away from the mythology.
Yeah. And he's so not his character when he's himself. Like, he's
not. Ironically, he's very American Badass, which I know is your favorite Taker, but, that's kind of, yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
It hurts.
Yeah. No, I loved Undertaker when the mystery was there, but now that we're peeling this back, I'm like, no, God damn it. There's no way to take it back either, What's lost is lost. And boy, is that a thing lately. But, yeah.
Yep.
This one, this beer right here is for the man.
One for the working men, Paystee. I'll crack one with you. This is for the Phenom.
God. I feel so bad for him. And Vince did him so dirty here.
It was wrong, and the worst part is... Actually, it's probably not the worst part because it's probably better. But I honestly believe Vince feels like he did an amazing job of sending him off.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think Vince is proud of this.
Oh, probably.
Which is good. It's good that he didn't try to shit on Taker because that would be awful. But at the same time, it just shows you what Vince thinks is entertainment.
Yeah, he shits on it without trying.
Yeah. That was such good shit in the ring.
All the time you put them in the home, right? When they shit and they don't know what they're doing. That's
exactly.
Fucking A.
Exactly.
Good old.
Good
old Godfather had some shit to say on Twitter about it, though.
Yeah, he was not happy. And that's one of Taker's best friends.
Mm-hmm. When a fan